I was so focused on the business and so focused on being a mum that I fully lost myself in the process. My training session was last and I would almost envy Caleb that he could just train. And it was felt like I couldn't. You have to be the one to prioritise yourself. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become.
All right, today we've got some special guests here today. We've got one waiting in the on the couch, and we've got young Bexy here, Rebecca Hurt from BE-IT now, right?
Yeah.
Out of Windsor.
BE-IT Studios in Windsor.
So the reason why we've got you here, Bexy, and we've got Sophie as well. Hi, Sophie.
Yeah, hey guys. I'm here too.
So Bexy, we've got you here today on the podcast, which is pretty fun actually. We wanted to bring you in because we wanted to highlight your journey with us. So this is not one of those hostage testimonials where you've got to talk about Geronimo. This is actually about you.
It's been a real journey. So yeah, I'm really keen to share it. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So for all our listeners out there, we just wanted to be, obviously it's unfiltered, okay?
Yeah.
So no one's listening, don't worry about it. But it's unfiltered, warts and all, because on the surface, top line, we don't need to necessarily talk figures, but let's say you've doubled, right? But the true story behind all of this is who you've become along the way. I think that's the biggest thing that
100%.
we wanted to highlight through this.
Yeah.
Especially because your story will help so many others out there who, no one talks about the losses and the shit that happens, I think, in business. They'll just be like, oh, we've done so well. It's been a bit of a journey, but actual tactical things that you've done as a person and then in your business will really be helpful for a lot of people. Yeah, well, we'll just dive straight in. My favourite part of Bexy's story is she's not only doubled her revenue and had incredible progress and created this amazing brand and team, but the journey there, she tried to quit on 3 times.
Yeah, that's true. It was a pattern.
Yeah.
When I was younger, studying TAFE and studying pretty much anything I studied, I would stop when I was so close to finishing.
Why?
I got what I need, next thing. I got what I need, next thing. But never finish or know the full vision.
Right.
It was always I'd start and go balls to the wall and give it everything. And then I'd feel like I got enough from it and then I would go to the next thing. I didn't have a clear vision and I didn't know why I was doing that thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, because if we rewind it back, I really want to dive into that though, but you were super hesitant to start in the first place. I think Kai had to put you in a headlock to get you to fucking join.
Hey, bigger than I thought he would be too.
Yeah.
Traps.
So what was that about, just firstly?
Well, we were kind of running the gym but didn't actually know we've learnt so much with you guys, but I didn't know anything about Facebook marketing. I didn't even know what it meant to run an ad. I didn't even know. Everything we did was organic, which was great, but it's only to a point that you can kind of grow and just get comfortable at. We were running every session, didn't know what it meant to build a team, didn't know what it meant to be a leader, didn't know what it meant to hold standards to myself. We were just doing it and then getting burnt out and then go on a holiday and then come back and do it again. Until
you got burnt out again.
Got burnt out again.
Holiday, come back and do it.
Yeah, just again and again.
Wow.
Christmas would come, we'd do the skeleton hours, shorter days and, feel a bit better and then go for it again. I think it changed a lot when I got pregnant because I was kind of forced to not run every single session and we were forced to build a team. So we have amazing team. Fleur and Amanda were the first to kind of come in and take a big load off me. So I was able to enjoy being pregnant, not just work and training. And then it was after I had Alia when Kai sent me Soph's details and was just reach out. Had a call with Soph and she just kept asking if I was ready to go all in. To me, that was a big question.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know. I was all in. What does all in mean? Because I've only ever kind of been, I wouldn't say half into things, but I would go all in, but I knew it wasn't long-term all in, if that makes sense.
You knew as soon as it got too much, you'd just hit the eject button, go on the next holiday, come back and repeat.
This all started way back, I don't need to say my whole life story, but
Mate, that's what you're here for.
Working in hospitality from a young age, loved it, then had zero interest in school. So I left school, worked in hospitality. In hospitality, then started working in the kitchen. So I'd go study kitchen, to be a chef.
Yeah.
Then got one certificate from it, but didn't finish the other one that I paid for and just kept working because I was I've learned what I need. I've already got the job. Why do I have to have the second certificate? Did that, hit a point, then became manager there, did the managing part, got hard, was why am I doing this? Eject, leave that. I actually had 3 months off to be like, what the heck do I want to do? I was newly married, didn't know what I wanted to do. And in that time, it was kind of discovering my passion for health and fitness. Loved the hospitality side, but I didn't want to be a slave in a kitchen. I wanted to change people's lives. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to hear their story and help them discover their passion. So then started working in gyms, and the rest is history. It was a few gyms before I like found G3 and was a trainer there. From being a trainer there, then turned into owning the G3 Windsor with Caleb. We did that together. Caleb's my husband.
Yeah.
So me and him built that up together, then found Geronimo, and our kind of vision and purpose around it just transformed to like, this is more than training. This is more than a community. This is actually impacting people's lives and who they are becoming. So how can we shift our brand to embody that fully? So that was our big kind of journey to be it.
So
I didn't answer the question.
No,
did I?
you definitely did. So I'm just following along with like the hesitation to get started with us in the first place was like you didn't even know what you didn't know. You didn't even
I had
see
no
like
idea.
you were in third gear, but there was a fifth gear that you could kick into.
Yeah.
But then you did get started and fuck, she went for it. Like you were my best student in that like
I
period
remember,
of
like,
time.
being on the phone like just nonstop. I didn't even know I could make sales over the phone. So that was massive. Like, and I didn't feel like I was shy. Like it was one of the coaching calls and I was just like, yeah, I can do that. And even from when I was a kid, if I watched a YouTube video, I would learn that thing. Like mind to it, learn it, get into it, next thing. So when I did that with the calls, I got into it, learnt it, went hard at it, burnt myself to the ground, and then hit the eject button.
That's when we got the
This
first
is
email.
enough. Yeah, the first email.
Yeah, and there's no shame in this either. Like everyone
100%
reaches these like we call them quit dips, where like you have this fork in the road of like, fuck, it's too hard, eject, or it's too hard, let me fix that problem and then move through it. And so that's why it wasn't like again a hostage situation of like, no, you can't leave, like you're in a contract. It was like, hey, you've got this vision, like you want to knock down walls, you want to build your brand, you want to move to like new locations, you've got your family. I'm not letting you stop on that. Like, don't quit on your dreams. And then you'd go for it again. But because the pattern hadn't changed, that's why it happened a few more times.
What it was never that I was planning to quit on the dream. It was I would convince myself, and this is where self-talk is everything, because I would convince myself that I could either do it better or I have my own way. Like, I can make it work kind of thing. Like, I've got what I needed. I can do this next. And that's where I would go through that cycle with everything. Was I'd learn so much and then it was like, all right, next, I've got this. That's part of me now. I've learnt that. What's the next thing?
I wonder, what is that actually the disguise of?
I wouldn't say a disguise of, but it was just like I probably had so much, I don't know if it's belief in myself, or I would let my mind talk me out of stuff. Like, not talk me out of stuff, justify. Like, I knew I was progressing and doing great, but then I got to a point, it's like in my head, well, you've learned this, you can keep going, just do organic, you still growed like that, blah, blah, blah. You know what to do. I don't know. Maybe it's like not thinking I needed the accountability, but everyone needs accountability. Everyone needs standards.
Actually, such a human thing. Like, I know we're both on a running journey, actually.
Like,
you'll be like, if you don't commit to, like, I'm doing this many Ks, you'll start bargaining with yourself.
100%.
But, like, if you kind of think, oh, I might do 10, then at 7, you're like, oh, I'll just do 7 then. Like, if you don't have something to hold you accountable plus, like, a definitive goal, then you will just justify it because it gets a bit hard. So it sounds like that pattern was, like, burnout because you went so hard and were doing so well at it, and just justify, like, oh, just slack off a little bit kind of thing, even if that wasn't the intention.
It definitely was like goes hand in hand though with my fitness and training journey though, 100%.
What do you mean?
The business growth and my journey with you guys has gone hand in hand. Like, the growth I've had in the business would not have happened if I didn't have the self-development, believing that I'm capable, the pushing myself, not just in running but training, the being consistent with it. So not just like, yeah, I'm hitting it hard and then burning out. It's like, no, this is part of who I am. I'm someone that prioritizes my training. I'm someone that nourishes my body through nutrition. I'm someone that shows up as a business owner. I'm someone that is consistent and a good leader and mentor. Like, that language you have to yourself has been the biggest changer, I feel, for me, us, the business, my family, how I've shown up, like, just now to where I was. It's been the biggest change.
Yeah, your personal standards of like through the roof. Such a great example of how that's flown through into the business. And do you remember, like, I think the second conversation we had, it was because we'd just done a summit, like a big drop of like content.
3 days.
I think you were going like, this is awesome, but I've learned so much. I need to just, again, like go and hit pause and go and figure it out myself. But really it was because you felt like, or you didn't realize that it was because we were lacking team around you. And that's when Fleur got on the phones, I think, or someone got on the phones and you started to build out those roles as well.
Yeah, I think Fleur wasn't on the phones, but she's incredible at what she does, but just learning to play to the team strengths. So, like, rather than just trainers coming and doing a shift, it was like we are actually a team and we are helping these people find their full potential together. It's not like I used to feel like a pressure with, for example, a new person. If a new person came in, like, I had to be there. Like, and Alia was only
like a new member.
Yeah, new member, inquiry, like anything was like, I had to be at the gym. Like, no one's going to make them feel comfortable like me. No one's going to run a certain session like me. But I just had to, I jump in a lot of the sessions, but I'm there as getting trained. And I love seeing the coaches thrive and they're playing to their strengths. Like when you taught us to kind of, designing the rosters for that, creating an experience, like, being a part of that and watching it like from a member's perspective has just changed, as opposed to like feeling like I had to be the one to run that good session. Yeah.
I remember you saying that you were like, oh, I need to like slow things down because I'm not sure that I can fulfill the promise that I've sold on the phone.
That was my biggest struggle. And still to this day, have accepted that there will always be an area that I can improve and that we can improve as a team, always. So my issue was I felt like I never wanted to promise something to someone and then them come in and feel like, where's the accountability? Where's the support? Like, so I just accepted that every single day that we show up, we can get better. I believe in our brand. I believe in every person on our team and all of our members. And I believe in my heart that we are one of the best gyms and the best brands. But I would never stand and say, we are the best gym, we are the best. It's because there's always an area I can improve. And if I said we were the best gym or the best boutique gym, I would be lying to myself because there's always areas that I can get better. And I just had to accept that. It was like, we can actually get better every day. There's always going to be one thing that we can make better. And I'm still discovering those things every week.
What are those things that you're working on at the moment? Like, what are those areas that you know you need to get better at?
I want to do one-on-ones with the team. And I think we do a good job at helping them reach their goals, like Fleur with her fighting, like we're her number one supporters and she's an incredible boxer. Like there's just certain areas that I want to make sure that the team is feeling valued throughout the journey of it, because we're so focused on the member and that's great and we want the members to see results, but especially with this content now, and some of our team meetings can be like content or it's very specific, but making sure we keep that like team aspect to it of feeling like they're accomplishing something or they're making a difference in the world, not just coming in, running a session and going.
Mate, you're 25 years old. Like the way you're talking, it's like a 45-year-old business owner that's been doing this for 20 years.
When I was younger, I used to get all the time like, you're so mature. What do you mean you're only 18? What do you mean you're only 19? Like, yeah, I feel very blessed and like I've been raised, a lot of my family's got businesses.
Right.
And I've been raised with a big family and hospitality was the heart of it all. So to me, hospitality can be in any business or industry. It's like that connection with people, the way you make people feel, the way you leave people when you talk to them. And my biggest thing is every day I want to inspire someone. So
I think the headline here, and you got more questions to ask, I know, but just jumping in here like Kanye.
So we love Kanye.
I know you press the button 3 times, which is completely fine, but
just don't do it again. No.
I think that's the story here is, and even watching your Instagram, like, is just who you've become along the way. Like every single time that's happened, you've almost had a breakthrough. And then you hit the pain line, breakthrough.
I had one last week.
Hit the pain line, breakthrough. Tell you when it happens. When other people have quit and we've not managed to talk them out of it from a sense of like, dude, you said you were going to go here. We're going to hold you accountable and hold you to a standard. If for whatever reason they're like, no, they dig their heels in and they'd rather bounce. The next thing we hear back from them is an out of office reply to an email that we would have sent to our marketing list. And the reply says, this studio no longer exists. And it's fucking heartbreaking for us, not because of lost revenue, but because they had 100 members in there, 200 members in there that now don't have a place to train. And we all know, everyone in this room knows, a place to train is their third space. Like it's mental health and it's all that kind of stuff, right? So, yeah, I think the biggest thing for you has been that identity shift of who you've become every time you've hit that pain line and chose to break through instead. Can you describe what your identity shift looked like? And like how conscious were you through those processes? Did you realise you had to become someone else? I mean, you're wearing a T-shirt that
says BE-IT.
BE-IT, yeah. Can you talk through that?
If I look back now, I didn't realise how many lies I was believing.
Say that again.
If I look back now, I wouldn't believe how many lies I was believing.
Like what?
Just the self-talk of like settling or thinking things were good enough or like, oh, like that's enough of that session or, oh, that'll do, or walking past something or, and I'm not saying I was lazy. I was still working, but I think when you hold yourself to a standard and you know who you want to show up as and you show up as that person, you're living life on another level. Like you're actually living your life. You're not just letting the days pass and feeling like you're swamped and your head's spinning and you've got so much in your head. And it's like, and you actually said when I started, you either live your life by design or default. And for me, that quote stuck with me to just be like, I can design my dream life. And I've always loved my life. I don't look at any of it and think it was shit. Like I've been very, very grateful for everything. And I believe in God and I believe that everything I have in life is from Him, but I don't believe that I was living it to my fullest potential.
Wow.
Like becoming a mum was probably my biggest, like, holy shit, I just did that. And since then, like, I got into running. I would never run more than 10Ks when I was my fittest before having Alia because I was just like, 10's good enough.
Yeah.
Like, what would I run more for? Like, knowing that I can push past that physical pain and push through and keep going more than I think I can, not just in running, but in every area. Like, when you wake up and don't feel like doing something, but you have to be the one to hold yourself to that standard. There's no one coming to save you. That James Clear quote across the top of our gym.
Yeah.
Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Every action. Is this a vote for who I want to be or a vote away? Oh, that's a vote away. I'm going to do this. Is going out on that night drinking going to push me closer to who I want to be or away? Some circumstances, networking, go for it. But I do believe, like for me, when I feel my best is getting up early, getting done what I need to get done. I have a very strict morning routine. Doesn't matter what time I get up, but it has to get done before I get out of my bedroom and touch my phone.
Like what?
So I heard it on the Jay Shetty podcast, so I'm stealing his thing, but it's called Time. The T stands for thankfulness.
Yeah.
Write down 3 things you're grateful for. And it has to be specific. Like I can't just write Alia. It has to be like Alia and how she said mum yesterday, or Alia and the fact that she's learning every day. So 3 things you're thankful for, grateful for. The I stands for intention. 2 things that is a clear intention. At the start, I was doing it like business things that came to my head, but I changed it to personal things because I feel like my business, when I'm on my laptop in business mode, is separate to when I'm waking up in the morning and having my time for me to know what I want to be clear for myself with. So 2 things. It's usually something like, what's something clear? Call someone that is on my mind. So write their specific name, or if there's a pile of towels in the washing basket, like pack that today. That's something clear that I want to get done that day. And then the M stands for meditate. I got to get better with this one, but I only do a minute lately because I just feel like a minute is what I need at the moment. I would eventually love to get it longer. So meditate, just sit there, nothing, literally a minute, feet on the ground, silence. The E stands for exercise. That's my movement. So whether it's getting up, so once I've done those things, then I get ready and I'll go to BE-IT in the morning, do a session there if Caleb's home, or I jump on the bike outside and do some sort of movement before like the sun's up. That's my morning.
Wow.
And then my day will start. I'll open my Emotion, look at my calendar. Alia will usually wake up a little bit after that. get her ready. Then I go in the gym, see 9 and 10 a.m. crew. So that's like, since doing that, I'm not kidding. And I don't want to be like, try this morning routine, here's my template. But honestly, I don't know if it's just the fact of not getting out of bed and going straight on my phone, or not getting out of bed and rushing like I used to. That is like putting on my armor for the day. It has literally been my saving grace in the morning. It's been my moment that no matter what comes up today, I know that I'm grateful. I know I have a clear intention for the day. I know that I'm loved by God and that He radiates through me. And I know that I moved my body. So like for me, it's just ticking those things. Yeah, that's my morning, like at the moment. And sometimes I did it this morning at 3 a.m. because Ali got up, nappy change, and I was working the morning. So I was like, there's no point going to bed.
Yeah.
If I go to bed, I'm going to feel more groggy, even though I wanted to, but it would just stuff the whole thing up. So did it, had my day. And the intention was to, one, I was thankful for being on the podcast. I wrote that.
Yeah.
And the intention as well was to inspire people on this podcast that they can do it, because I didn't think I could, but I'm here now.
You're doing it, mate. I definitely think you're, 100% going to be inspiring people.
Exactly where I was going as well with that kind of last question is like, for anyone playing along who has probably been in a similar situation to where you were, like has maybe some beliefs or patterns that weren't serving them, and then now you're here, like you're doing that morning routine, you like content is incredible personally and professionally. Like I feel like I've been watching you just like come out of like a cocoon, like this amazing butterfly. I honestly am so proud of you. Like it's amazing.
Soph never shares stuff with me, but she shared your reel recently where you did your transformation.
Journey,
yeah.
Phenomenal. I didn't think those videos would ever see the day of life, but I'm glad I took them. I wish I took more now looking back.
But now Caleb's doing content.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're lifting everyone around you.
Yeah.
Like, you 100%, you're being that leader.
Yeah. If someone is sitting there and is feeling or believing or thinking in a way that you have in the past, like what were I know you've said that tactical stuff around your morning routine, but how did you know to do that, and how did you decide to do that and break whatever was not serving you before?
That's a really
do
good
this now?
question, because if someone told me then to do that morning routine,
like, no thanks.
I get up when Ali gets up. I lay in bed. When she wakes me up, I'm going to wake up. That was like what I used to do. But I just kind of got to a point where I was like, I was doing well with Geronimo, but it was probably in those times when I was ejecting, like, stop, I need a break, or I'm exhausted, or whatever it was. I would burn out because I wasn't clear on who I wanted to be. I was so focused on the business and so focused on being a mum that I fully lost myself in the process. My training session was last, and I would like almost envy Caleb that he could just train. And it was like, felt like I couldn't, but I could. I just had to be smarter and find a way and shift some things. And I started to go on walks with Alia more, and I started to, like, if mum or dad or someone was over, it was like, okay, I'm going to go train. Like, don't feel guilty, prioritize yourself. I just kept telling myself, don't feel guilty, prioritize you. So when Caleb would get home, all right, I'm going to go out and train now. And he'd be like, yeah, sure.
So how did you give yourself that permission? Did you hear something, read something, or was it just this internal?
No, it was just an internal, like if I don't prioritize myself, like, you have to be the one to prioritize yourself. And I could say, like, I'm going to train on this day. I could say, oh, I'm going to train 2 sessions this week. But if I wasn't specific on this day at this time, babe, I need you to be home, he would always support me. Like, we'd go on walks together. Like, if I wanted to go for a run or whatever, he was always super supportive. Like, that's why I love our lifestyle so much and where we are now. But I had to be very specific. And as well, I had to not feel bad to leave. Even if, like, Alia was crying a little bit, but she was hungry and Caleb was about to feed her. Instead of staying there and trying to do it as well, it's like, Caleb will do it. It's my time now to go train. Do not feel bad. And I would always come back 10 times better. I would always come back feeling better.
Yeah.
So what's the lesson there?
Lesson there is to not feel guilty, to set boundaries and learn that by putting yourself first, you're actually giving value to those around you massively, to your business, to your family. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about helping, like, not just mums, but other people see that especially those times when you want to quit, which I've learned now, even in fitness, anything, those times that you want to quit, your breakthrough's on the other side every time. So last week, before you asked me to be on this podcast, a few days before, I had a member, she owns a salon, and she asked me to MC her. She's got a big event. When she first asked, I was like, the voice in my head was like, no way, you can't MC an event. What the heck? You can stand up there and not know what to say. Like, and then I kind of got in the car, it was playing in my head, and I was like, fuck yes, I can. I can MC an event. Like, I can talk in front of a group of 40 people in the gym. Why can't I talk in front of 70 women? Like, I get it. Like, I can talk. Anyway, so I said yes. When I said yes, I was like instantly excited. Like, I'm going to do this. And for me, that was a big breakthrough because the voice inside told me you can't MC an event. The next day you asked me to be on the podcast and I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to be on the podcast. Like, for me, whatever you're saying in your head, you have to be the one to counteract it and not feel bad by doing so. It can sound real like cheesy, but even my biggest pet peeve is like saying I can't or should. I hate the word should. I say it sometimes, so if I said it on the podcast, just cut it out.
Yeah.
But sometimes you say it, it carries so much. We don't realize the power of our language, and just what you think about yourself is massive.
Yeah, Ash is always saying that, you know, if you believe that this won't work or that you can't, then
Ash has also been massive part the coaching with Geronimo. I had heard of the Be Do Have mindset. I saw it on a reel like a while ago and I was like, yeah, that's cool. But then learning it in depth with you guys, and it ended up being our whole brand.
So for those that are listening at home, explain it.
So Be Do Have is like a mindset shift. Most people work from the have, do, be. So they say things like, when I have time, I will become someone who's fit. Or when I have money, I will be a generous person, as opposed to working from the Be Do Have. So starting with who you want to become and that identity. Who you are, everything stems from that. So when you embody becoming that person, you are going to do the things, so take action on what that person would do to have the outcome. So it's like a flow-on effect. By changing your identity and your belief system, you then take action and raise your standards to do the things that that person would do to have the outcome. So that's what Be Do Have stands for.
Nailed it. You could work it, Jerome.
Just from what you were saying before, like, you do actually internally know what you need. Like, for example, you knew that you needed to train and have that time for yourself, but it's just overcoming that kind of like inertia to build a new habit and like feel okay with it in different stages of life. So is that just getting good at self-talk, or is that like, what is that?
I think setting small to start. Like, people do not, what I just said for that morning routine, like it's been over a 1.5 year journey to get that. And it's only been like a few months of having it printed out and doing that every day. I wasn't doing that a year ago. But I think when I had that shift of all I have to do is show up as the person I want to be and do the actions of that person. So having that internal in your mind, and by starting small, I mean, for example, if you're someone that struggles with calling the leads, it's like when you're sitting there and you're scrolling, all right, is this a vote towards the person I want to be or a vote away? Oh, scrolling right now isn't doing me any good. What's something that's going to bring me closer to where I want to be? Call the fucking leads.
Yes, I love it.
So it's like just small. Or
Did you swear before you started working with John?
I'm actually really bad.
Okay,
you wouldn't pick it, but Caleb,
It's so good.
I got to get better.
You swear
That's
like
on
a
my
truckie.
list.
Yeah.
I really swear bad. You wouldn't. Yeah, it's on the list of improving things. Maybe I should add it to my morning routine.
Add it to one of your
Don't
eyes.
swear.
Yeah.
Sorry, family, listening to
No,
this.
she's absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, look, for anyone listening, I'm just thinking about there's thousands of studio owners and people that aren't studio owners, but they're into high performance. That's who's listening to these potties, right? They're all sitting there. They're probably in the car listening to this and going, fuck. What they've probably realised so far is, like, we're not sitting here talking about how you've added a lot of money to your recurring revenue, and we're not talking about tactics. We're not talking about which Facebook ad you use. We're not talking
That could be
about
a whole nother episode.
We're not talking about like, which template you're. It's not the tactics. It's like the whole point of this is the identity shift of who you've become along the way to then do those things to have those things. So for anyone listening and just going, fuck, I think I get it now, and this lady is inspiring me, what advice would you give other people who, when they hit the pain line, they still hit eject rather than looking for a breakthrough, what advice would you give them?
Journal massively.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would say get out a pen and paper, write the date at the top and just write it down. Whatever you're feeling, in the sense of, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's like, I feel overwhelmed today. I feel tired today. I feel like I don't have the energy to give to my business right now. And then once you've written those, I was going to say shitty parts, but I was trying not to swear, but
you've just said it.
So once you've written all that stuff down, kind of look at it and don't feel bad to acknowledge it. Like, that's okay. That's how you feel. There were so many times when I felt like, I don't journal a lot, but I go through phases where it's like 1 month strong journaling, but I always look back and read it. Like only last night I was reading one from a few months back, and it's just so interesting to read. Once you write down what you're struggling with, then go into your purpose behind it. Why am I doing this?
Okay.
Why do I want to overcome this?
So that's the part that people, I think, are missing.
Yeah, having that vision.
Because they can still get out a piece of paper and start writing shit down.
Yeah.
But without answering the next thing, because you mentioned already, it's like once you became clear on who you wanted to be and the purpose behind what you were doing, like that's when it changed for you, right?
Yeah. Because sometimes it can, especially when you're overwhelmed, and it's easy to get overwhelmed in business, but start with the negative, follow with a why, a vision, something positive, and then I always end it with at least 5 I am statements, positive.
Wow.
Always. So like sometimes you're like, I'm confident, I'm faithful, I'm radiant, I'm like, sounds weird saying it out loud, but I write these on paper. When I look back, sometimes I look back, it's like, yeah, that's who I am. Like, it's just become part of my identity. While before, not doing that kind of stuff, it's easy to have negative self-talk because you don't actually believe it. Wow. You have to actually believe it. You are the only person that can believe in yourself. And it's like, coaching with you guys is amazing, and I know you believe in me. But if I didn't believe in myself, and Caleb and I didn't go on this journey to believe in our brand, what we were doing for members, we would not be where we are now. Because like Ash says, like, your subconscious will take over. If you don't know why you're doing something and you don't have a clear vision or purpose or passion for it, you're literally just going to be spinning your wheels on a hamster wheel because you think you're making progress, but you're not. You're stuck.
So cool. The other added benefit actually of writing those affirmations, like, it might sound woo and like, oh, that's like whatever, grow up. But like, because the human brain has the same, I don't know what the exact number is, but it's like same number of thoughts, or 80% of your thoughts are the same every single day, and you might have 40,000, for example. So if you don't interject and change something to how you're thinking, then you'll just mull over the same problems, come up with the same solutions, same beliefs, same words, same language. So if you can interject with some affirmations, I've always learnt from like other mentors, how helpful that and powerful that can be.
I've never been someone that's into that stuff either.
Yeah.
Like, to me is woo-woo. And that's why I kind of feel weird talking about it, because this is something I've been doing on my journey. But I completely believe that that is what has helped transform me to fully believing myself, to knowing what I'm capable of, to pushing myself past my limits, that when I want to stop, I'm able to hold myself to a standard of, no, that's not who I am. So, yeah, that's just, it's changed my life, really.
Big lesson here, team, listening, is, if you're stuck, if you're getting overwhelmed, if you get into a point where you feel like, fuck, you just want to eject, like, notice that pattern, lean into it. And there are some tactical things that Bexy's just mentioned there that you can actually, implement right away. Because if you kind of piece together all the episodes that we've done, Vic, who was just on before you, right, Muscle Republic, and a lot of other high performers that we've interviewed along the way as well, we're not talking about tactics. I think that's the big thing here that our academy people,
it's easy
and our
to
listeners,
get caught up on the tactics.
So easy.
And you've like honestly slayed at all the tactics. Like, you've got a content creator, again, like, go and check out the BE-IT Instagram. You've got elite churn levels, you've done ads and sales, like organic sales are coming through every week. You guys are you know how to do all of that. But yeah, it's definitely about managing your state, having that clear vision, and then choosing how you respond, I suppose, in those moments. Yeah, which would be way easier to do from, like, we did that session yesterday around like that fight or flight state. Like, your morning routine puts you straight into that, like, everything is
Relaxed.
good, relaxed,
Every morning.
homeostasis, whatever.
Even
You're a
if I wake
scientist,
up
but-
late, you should see me with the pen and paper.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
like if you ever sleep in, it's like, no, that's what I have to do because I know it sets me for a good day.
Yeah.
What do you think your community's seen along the way?
I think they've seen a mum who was a mum and behind the scenes business owner to someone that's now in the community with them and training hard alongside them. And the team's grown, what we do has grown, our services have grown. Like, I think if I really left the first time that I sent an email in, we might not be at studios right now.
Wow.
We probably wouldn't have a crate and offer yoga and offer nutrition coaching and have a bigger team. We wouldn't have any of those things because that was all part of the journey, was just slowly getting better. Like, all right, what's the next thing? What can we improve? I've now put the thing where I used to jump, learn something and then eject and go to the next thing. It's like now become a one thing. Let's perfect it. Let's focus on it. All right, what's the next thing? Without dropping that other thing. It's like learning to implement without neglecting.
What are you most proud of with your community and your business and your family and everything?
Seeing people transform themselves as well. Like, I have only one girl the other day and she was just talking about her mindset and how she used to like go shopping and look at everything and like want to eat it all the time. But now it's like she knows that doesn't serve her at all, and being able to just walk past it and know that she wants to eat the good food. To me, hearing that is like, people think it's just macros and training, and to an extent it can be. But I'm a massive believer that it's all the mindset behind it. Like, if you are not in a good state and if you don't believe in yourself and if you don't know why you want to do that, you might get there, but you'll gain the weight back and you won't feel good in yourself. So it's like doing that become part first in order to have the outcome. I think it should be like, the first step. I don't want to sound weird though.
No, it's not at all. It's
because at the start, to me, this all sounded like, oh yeah, you don't think it will make a big difference, but it really does.
What were you going to say before? We were talking off camera and we're like, no, stop. Because you said you were looking at your numbers.
Yeah.
Things have like moved in the best direction. And then you said, but it was interesting. And then we stopped you.
And I
So
said,
what
"Shut
were you
up,
going to say?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like podcast stuff,
This
but
podcast
We
stuff.
can cut it out.
I was very interested that the revenue since working with you guys had like almost tripled, like since when we started, but the member number has not tripled.
Which means?
We have different revenue streams now, which we never had before.
That's so cool.
You guys
So,
didn't see
like-
that. I just fist bumped Bexy.
So like that's another thing, is not just being comfortable in what you know and actually being a sponge and learning and thinking how you can. And it's not for the money. It's how can we do other services? How can we get the most out of this business to impact more people? Because it doesn't have to be people in your gym, in your
Exactly. I
four
keep
walls.
saying that. That's why when you guys get on the calls and I keep saying, and people talk about member numbers, I go, but what's that in revenue? And then they're like, it's almost like you can't take a member number to the bank and pay for bills. Like, so it's like retraining your brain around, well, actually, what if I could actually build a business that I loved without having 5 times as many members and
To look after.
to look after, but still impact more people around the world.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think it's very easy to get like caught up on something, but that comes back to having coaching, is having someone that's holding you accountable to, all right, that might be doing well, but your other metrics might be lacking. Like, it's very easy to get caught up on a member number, but you might have 10% churn. Like, why are you going to get excited on your member number? You got to fix the leak. And that's another area, like every week is what's the focus. So yeah.
What we've enjoyed working with you, Bexy, is that you respond well to
Tough love.
tough love and our level of, we're pretty unfiltered, aren't we?
Yeah.
Those are spicy
Very
dozer.
unfiltered.
Spicy dozer and spicy toast sometimes. You respond well. You show up, you aim up, sometimes you cop it, and then you go back in and you do it and you keep working on it and you keep lifting.
I remember on the call once you were like, are you in? Are you out? Are you in? Are you out? You got to decide. And I was like, holy shit, I'm in. I'm in.
So
Don't say it again. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's bring this home. There's so much gold in here. Listeners, this is like, Bexy's 25. Fucking, how long you've been with us for? I don't know, a year or two,
year.
right? Yeah.
It's about a year now, yeah.
Like,
Tripled her business.
tripled a biz.
become this incredible leader, amazing team, and new brand that's like taking the fucking market by storm.
What are you working on now that you're really excited about?
Expansion,
Yeah.
new location,
Yeah.
offering more.
Yeah.
Complete hub, so like coffee shop, everything.
Yeah.
The whole kit. Long form content.
Great.
Educational YouTube channel. It's already there.
Yeah. Do you want to just do a drop? Go.
BE-IT Studios on YouTube. We have an 8-week to BE-IT program, which is kind of the steps I went through, but in depth. Where you have
sorry to interrupt. You're doing long form YouTube content, are you?
Yeah.
Like some people can't fucking just get a fucking reel out the door. Like
That's so fucking true.
I think we love reels, but an example would be like we did a reel and then it's hard to put a lot of context into one reel. So for the people that need all the context or the people that really want to learn and understand something, to have a place that they can go and fully understand it as opposed to like a 20-second reel.
No, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay, YouTube channel, what else? And we'll link that down below in the show notes. What else?
I'd love to do a podcast in the future.
Fuck yeah. You'd be great at it.
I would love to.
Yeah.
And what else? It's a tough question. Apparel. I'd love to do apparel line.
Yeah.
Yeah, on our website.
Yeah.
For now, that's
heaps.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
What would your team say about you as a leader?
They'd probably say that I'm compassionate and encouraging.
Mm.
I think that's my biggest strength. Caleb and I balance each other out really well.
What's he?
Tough love.
Is he tough love?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're compassionate.
If something's wrong in the gym, like you know what's wrong in the gym.
Right.
Yeah. He's so good though. Like we balance each other out really well. Sometimes trainers will always hear me say, "You can't say that," and he's just like, "Why not? It's the truth."
I like him.
But yeah, I would like to be a better leader. That's on my goals as well, to be a better leader for the team and continue to inspire them to bring the best out in them.
Anything else from you?
No, that was epic. It was so good.
Bex, I think by the time this comes out, when this drops, I know your whole community is going to listen to this. Your family will, our academy will, and I think you're going to be getting a lot of messages from everyone just actually reinforcing the fact that you are, in fact, inspiring a lot of people.
Oh, thanks, guys.
In what you're doing. One last question before you go. Are you spelling my name properly when you say like what you're grateful for in the morning?
DOZA.
Thank you. Okay, great.
I actually didn't write your name. I wrote Geronimo.
I'll take that. Bexy, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Keep going. You're a fucking legend. You and the whole team out there. And when you break ground and open that new big site, make sure you give us some notice. So we'll be there on opening day.
Yeah, I'll keep you in the loop.
Yeah, great.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
I really enjoyed this.
We'll see you in the academy.
Sounds good.
And call the fucking
And the
leads.
fucking Gold Coast as well.
Oh, we'll see you in the Gold Coast. Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Bexy, you're a legend, mate. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
See ya.